Hey guys, it's Will. Is CTM on the brink of a major breakthrough, or is there turbulence ahead in the cybersecurity space? Let's take a look here. Castellum Inc. is really starting to show signs of momentum. They achieved this CMMI level 3 appraisal that gives them more government contracts. However, the company did see a pullback recently, and we've been tracking this company live. We are looking at it live in StockMeet this morning. If you guys want to watch me trade live, it's that second link in the description for real-time trades. So let's take a look at this recovery we're starting to see today. It did sell off. It was a really great opportunity. Some of our stockmates caught it right at market open, that it sold down here about 24%, and then it recovered back up and ended the day basically on that 29% swing. So really good swing there for CTM. As you can see, there's this trend that's starting to develop, and it's at this key level of support. We had this level of support for the past few days, and it basically shot down today, bounced or rebounced, I should say, and then broke above that EMA. Starting to see a little bit of recovery. Back here, it looks like a pump, right? It looks like something that if you look at Big Bear AI stock, which is kind of a good one to kind of a comparison one in the government security space as well. If you go at Big Bear AI and we go back to the very beginning, I remember saying the same thing here. You know, this looks like it was a pump. I think it was right here, yeah, that we were all saying, wow, it soared to, $2, or right here it soared, but it just continues to have that uptrend. And now it's, starting to recover there. It's at that 200-day moving average. That's another story that we just covered earlier today. Basically, it's at a key level, and we're going to be having to make some quick decisions on it tomorrow. But let's take a look here. So CTM is starting to develop this trend. Of course, it has this volatility from 13 cents up to $3 because of its valuation. So if you take a look, CTM stock, we go through three things when analyzing a good deal or a bad deal, which is our three-part analysis. We go into the market that the company is in. The breakdown of the analysis is A, B, and C of technical analysis, fundamental, the news, as well as the plan for the financials and what that looks like. And then number three, the third step, is what does the profit margins look like? Can this make sense for a trade? And what does the plan look like there? The financials, it's a $76 million market cap. Not much to say there, right? It's a very small market cap. When you look at their financials, their revenue is around $11 million per quarter, which is pretty good for a company that is only $70 million market cap. I mean, that's actually really good. And the difference is their net income has been down. Like, it's up year over year. But then just recently they had this negative net income here of about negative 2.7 million. So that's interesting to look at, because essentially when you look at Castellum Inc., you look at their company, they have $100 million 5-year contract they just secured, and this OASIS Plus unrestricted IDIQ contract that basically puts them on demand. They manage large amounts of data. They work in cybersecurity. They work with the government and some other companies, mostly the government, and they focus on protecting their kind of intelligence, and also using AI for machine learning. As you can see, if you look at the overview of their company, they got a pretty straightforward look at their website. It's not anything fancy. It's like, here's what we're doing. If you look at their news, one thing that recently possibly I think was the catalyst that made them sell off here back down from $1.60 was their offering of their public offering of common stock, 4.5 million public offering. They need capital. They're looking for cash, obviously. So that was part of the reason there. We're going to get into this GTMR, but this is a really good news that came out today as well. But look at this $103 million contract, okay? Take a look too. They got a few $3 million contracts, and they also have SBA proteges, which is where they kind of shadow other companies. Small Business Association does that. Is it association or administration? I'm not 100% sure, but they help with the company being able to learn how to take on bigger contracts, essentially. And they're getting shadowed into this IDIQ. Here's the deal. This news today, Castellum subsidiary GTMR achieves CMMI level 3 appraisal. What does this mean? Well, this is essentially mean if they're focused on government contracts, they have this appraisal at maturity level 3 indicates the organization is performing at a defined level, and at this level, processes are well characterized and understood and are described in standards, procedures, and tools and methods. The organization's set of standard processes, which is the basis for maturity level 3, established and improved over time. Level 3 is a requirement for some government proposals. Having this appraisal makes Castellum and its subsidiaries more competitive. What does that mean? Well, if the government's going to work with you, they do a little bit of vetting on, sure, like the security side. As you can see, there's a CEO comment. Organizations worldwide are harnessing CMMI to elevate their business performance to new heights, creating a sustainable competitive edge in the process. I'm very impressed with our CTM team and GTMR teams demonstrating our ability as high-performing organization. CMMI level 3 will boost our technical evaluation score on new opportunities requiring the certification. Why would you need that certification? And look, there's even some mention here. Check this out. That's pretty interesting. There's some mention down here. This is forward-looking statements and to watch out. And they talk about the potential impact of US Doge to their contracts. That's interesting. But anyway, this means as a business owner, I understand this quite well. In order for your business to grow, you have to go through some growing pains. And one of the things is essentially documenting everything that you do. And that means everybody in the company and all their positions have to document how it is that they do things. Our company has websites. We have someone that documents how they do the websites, how they do the marketing. They create what are called standard operating procedures. The reason they do that is so that not only if we have something happens to them, we have someone else come in and we can easily get up to speed and on track, and that person knows everything that's associated with their job title and what they need to do. But the other reason we do that is because it allows us to scale. We can bring on new team members. It allows us to take on bigger contracts easier. It's essentially good business practices. And this CMMI here is associated with this, our businesses having that framework in place to be able to scale. And those are business practices that are verified for you to reach this level in order to take on new contracts. So it might seem like, oh, it's just level 3. What could that mean? But it actually means they're operating their business quite well and they're putting themselves in a position to capitalize on basically. They're not going to be tied up. They're not going to be working to the bone because they could hire other people and get them up to speed with the processes and how they run the business and different departments, and all the documentation is there for what entails that different department, all the little tasks. They filmed them. Maybe they have training programs or courses or checklists in the company that make it so that their company can take on new talent and grow faster. So we do that in our company personally. And honestly, that's really cool to see that that's even a requirement for them to get bigger contracts, that CMMI level 3. So very cool. They achieved that level 3 appraisal, and that's the news. The financials, as we said, looks pretty good to see that type of revenue with just such a small market cap. Now they're starting to develop this trend, and we see basically we're in it and we're looking for a recovery. I think on the position in total, I mean, let's see, I can jump in and see. I think we're down just a little bit. Let's see what it is. Yeah, $84 basically. We got like 3,300 shares or something like that of the company, and we're planning to essentially look for this move. Now, I would urge a lot of caution. Right now, the markets look all green. It looks quite nice and dandy. Portfolio's up a little bit. We like to see it. But when it comes down to some of the market corrections, you guys know we've seen some big dips, some big recoveries. It's important to, even though this looks like the type of trend that is an uptrend that's starting to develop with a company that's gaining traction in news and financials, and it looks quite promising, and I'm in it, doesn't necessarily mean that you should just copy me or you should just do exactly what I say or anything like that. And I'm not telling you to invest in it. And the reason I say that is because it's important to know whether you're looking to grow your portfolio or you're looking to grow your business or what have you, the speed at which you make decisions is really important. It's like if you look at the types of decisions that a hedge fund makes, or a lot of it's algorithmic trading, and it makes a split-second decision. So this is the type of company where if you're not in it for a considerable day or swing trade, and you don't have some tolerance to be in it, you have to be quite cautious, and I would urge caution, and you'd want to go in with a very clear plan. And when you're in it, if you plan to just trade it for the day, or let's say you're getting in and outs like we do in our trades today, I think it was Michael Tucker. Michael commented in Stockmate in our live session this morning, and he said, hey, I traded CTM. Thanks for that call out. I'm up big. And he sent me that around 2 p.m. I don't know if he sold, but it's gone up after hours. And the reason that you look at that from a perspective of caution is because, while that's great, make decisions quickly, and the faster you can make decisions, a lot of times, the faster your portfolio will grow if you're on a trading basis. So keep that in mind. Not so much decisions quickly, but good decisions quickly. And that comes down to having a plan when you get into the stock. And I would encourage anyone who's trading it to have a plan. I would see this level right here as a potential recovery right here. We're at a previous resistance right now that it's been getting a little rejected at. You see this level here? So it got rejected right here, got rejected right there, and it got rejected right here. So we're kind of pushing up to that and the 200-day moving average. And I could see that, there could be some risk of rejection around $1.20 tomorrow. So we'll see how that plays out. If it breaks above that level, I would be quite optimistic to see it continue this trend, this upward direction into that $1.70, $2 range. And it's such a small market cap. You do see this trend start to develop here. And I can imagine that it wouldn't be out of this world to see previous highs. I mean, we're talking about 75 million in market cap. We have a few institutional investors in the company, but it hasn't reached that level of BlackRock investing or Vanguard or Big Charles Schwab investing. I think it's like Bank of America is in this for a small amount of shares. I think I might have seen State Street in this company. You got to take a look at CTM stock. There you go. Institutional holdings. We could see what companies are in it. Who was it? Oh, but Vanguard is in it. Nope, they sold out. No, they actually are holding $99,000. State Street is in it. Bank of New York has a considerable amount. They're at 1.4 million. So there's some companies like State Street, Vanguard. We're looking at some big companies. Goldman Sachs was in it for a little bit, but it doesn't have a lot of attention. There's not a lot of hype articles or anything like that, which I like. But again, you'd want to approach it with some caution. If you guys want to watch us trade live tomorrow morning, make sure to check out that second link in the description. I would encourage you guys, simply take a look. If you want to join us, would love to have you there. We have our targets for this week. So if you jump up into Stockmate here, you can see we have our earnings reports with all of our targets. So we release all of our targets along with which companies are releasing earnings, pre-market and after hours. And then you get this free book with Emotional IQ. It's a book that I wrote for having a plan when trading. It's got some mindsets as well as different examples of approaching your learning journey if you're a beginner or if you're advanced. So hopefully that's helpful for you guys. I'd appreciate you all. If I earned a thumbs up, hit that like button. Do consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.